Has anyone ever accused her of a crime? Has she ever been charged with a crime?
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. She's never been convicted or charged with a crime in her life. In her life. Have any of her businesses filed for bankruptcy? I don't know. You tell me. I ask you, my friend, because you sound like a level-headed, smart guy. Who did you vote for in 2024, if you don't mind me asking?
I didn't vote. To be honest with you, I didn't vote. I
hate to say this, but that's part of the reason why Trump was elected. And I'm not trying to be tough on you, because I appreciate your honesty. But I think there were a lot of people like you that are decent people that decided not to vote. And I think that's one of the main reasons why Trump got elected.
You're probably right. I can't bring myself to vote for these people because.
Can I ask you?
In my opinion.
Go ahead.
In my opinion, being a politician is just like joining the mob. When you sign up for that, you know what you're getting into. You're not going to do people right.
I think that's general. I think that's a general thing to say. But let me ask you this: if the elections were tomorrow and it was Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance, who do you vote for?
God, I don't know if I could vote for either one of them people with a clear conscience.
Can I ask you if Kamala Harris won, would we see these tariffs that are putting us into a recession?
I don't know. It would have been a whole different ballgame. But
wait. Hold on. Help me understand. You think if Kamala Harris won, there'd be a chance that she would be doing what Donald Trump is doing with these tariffs?
No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me ask you. Thank you. I agree.
Oh, you said terrorist.
Yeah, terrorist.
I thought you said terrorist.
No, that's okay. I was confused by your answer. Now I understand. If Kamala Harris was voted in office, do you believe that our citizens would be kidnapped on the streets and people would be deported? Nonviolent criminals would be sent to El Salvador prisons if Kamala Harris won?
No,
okay.
Immigration wouldn't have even been approached.
I agree. I agree with you. If we had do you think if Kamala Harris won, we would have this big and beautiful bill where over 20 million people would lose their health care?
No.
Okay, the answer is no. Then why not say maybe you made a mistake?
Well, yeah, I probably did because I don't like the direction the country's going in.
Okay, then why not? But name me something different that J.D. Vance would do that Donald Trump is doing now. Why would you struggle? I'm not saying Gavin Newsom is perfect. He's not. But you're saying if it was Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance, which is furthering the MAGA, revolution or whatever the hell you want to call it, you wouldn't be able to make the decision that even though you might not be a Gavin Newsom fan, you wouldn't vote still?
Oh man, I can't lie to you. I can't, like I said, I can't bring myself to vote for any of these people.
What is it about Gavin Newsom?
I know what they are.
What is it about Kamala Harris that you maybe hate is a strong word? What was it about?
I don't hate it. No.
So what was it about her?
I don't hate anybody or anything, but I can see. I see what they try to do in this country.
What has Kamala done? What has she done? Be specific. What was it about Kamala Harris that you said I can't vote for her? Help me understand.
Nothing really. I don't. I just like I said.
Come on. Wait. Hold on. Help me. You seem like a really nice guy. You just said you can't really think of anything of Kamala that would lead you to believe that she's bad or. So why? I'm just confused. Then why didn't you vote for her? You know who Donald Trump is. We agree. Why couldn't you vote for her? I don't understand.
I just don't pay attention to.
You don't pay attention.
Political
so don't you
things
think? So like I said, don't you think you should now?
I know what these people are.
Well, tell me who is. Oh, tell me. What has Kamala Harris done for years? What has she done? Help me understand.
I might have read an article one time where she was. I can't really remember the exact article I read. Something about she wasn't doing somebody right. I'm trying to think of what it was. I can't even.
You read a random article, and it was so important that you didn't vote for her, and you don't remember. I'm trying to be respectful because I think you're a nice guy. You read an article, a random article. You're saying that she did somebody wrong.
She was doing some people wrong while she was
doing some people.
What was her old? She was the
attorney.
Job?
She was the attorney general, and she was a senator.
Yeah, she was putting some people in jail or something that weren't supposed to.
Okay. So
that's all. No, it's just that my whole thing is I really don't pay attention to
What's
them.
wrong with putting people in
I've been a
jail?
kid.
What's wrong with putting people in jail if they committed crimes? I don't understand. That's what she did. That was her
No,
job.
That particular article I read, it was saying she was putting people in jail for things that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. What do you think is? By the way, that's fake news. You're talking about marijuana, and in those cases, there were about 16 people. And with those cases that you were referring to, MAGA Republicans were trying to make it out like she was too tough on crime. What would you rather have? Somebody who puts somebody in jail on those types of charges, or somebody that, I don't know, calls someone a hostage and a patriot who beats police officers on January 6th? What do you think is more serious?
I would like to have somebody in office that really cared about others.
What makes you think that Kamala Harris did? That's what I'm trying to understand. I want to learn from you. What is it that Kamala Harris did that would lead you to believe that she doesn't, quote, care about others? I'm trying to understand why you would say that about her. Help me understand.
I'm not saying that about her. No.
So why didn't you vote? So if you don't feel that about her, then why didn't you vote for her? I don't understand. If you're saying you weren't informed, okay, fine. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish you did vote for her, but what was it about her? I just don't understand. You're saying you read some sort of random article, which was, I'm sure, filled with lies about her putting people in jail, which is, by the way, her job as attorney general for people that break the law. But like, I'm trying to understand, you have a guy that is an adjudicated abuser who's thousands of discrimination lawsuits, had to pay out.
Yeah, he's insane. I know.
I know, but I agree, but you wouldn't call Kamala insane, right? She's an accomplished woman.
She was a little, I mean, they're all, to me, all these people, like I said, when you get that job, you know what you're signing up for, and you're not signing up.
All right, so you're making a generalization that they're all the same. Let me ask you another question. Pretty much. Has Kamala Harris ever been is an adjudicated abuser? Has anyone ever accused her of a crime? Has she ever been charged with a crime?
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so? No, she wasn't. She wasn't. She's never been convicted or charged with a crime in her life. In her life. Have any of her businesses filed for bankruptcy? I don't know. You tell me.
I have no idea.
Okay, no, the answer is no. Their answer is no. Did Kamala Harris come from an extremely wealthy family, and was she given a $500 million company from her father? Was she
Probably
born?
not.
No, the answer is no. She wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She's a woman of color who worked really hard, who passed the bar, who became a duly elected attorney general, and also became a senator. I don't think there are any. Let me be clear here. I don't think there is any comparison between a good mother, a good wife, a hardworking woman who I believe does care about America. Comparing that to Donald Trump, I don't think. Name me one comparison they both have. Has she had any scandal in her life? Has she ever broken the law? Name me one thing that you think that she has in common with Donald Trump, because you made the comparison that they're very similar. And I'm trying to understand. You're claiming you didn't vote for her, my friend, because you read some random article that maybe she put too many people in jail, which I would love to hear what that article entails, because I don't think it's true. But regardless of that, what does Kamala Harris have in common with Donald Trump? Name me one thing.
Well, I didn't say they have anything in common. What I'm saying is these politicians, when they first start out, they might go into the job thinking they're going to do some good for people. Once that money starts rolling, they're not doing anything for anybody, and that's obvious.
You don't think Kamala did anything for? You don't think Kamala did anything for America when she was vice president?
I really don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know if she did any good for America. I don't see any of these people really doing much good for the regular American people. They do a lot of good for the filthy rich people.
You don't think?
About all I see.
Who do you think is more for the rich, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Like, who do you think did more for the rich?
Well, obviously, the Republicans.
Okay, I agree.
Whole life
how about Obamacare? How about raising minimum wage? How about the CHIPS and Science Act? How about the infrastructure bill? How about debt consolidation or debt relief for people that graduated from college? You do realize Joe Biden did that, and Kamala Harris was the vice president. She certainly supported it.
Well, that was a nice. I mean, like I said, that was definitely a nice thing to help the.
Okay, so you would agree that sometimes politicians do things to help people.
Well,
yeah,
once in a while.
Once in a while,
they do. But from what I've seen, you know, the debt's $38 trillion. Somebody got to be.
Donald Trump got us $8.2 trillion. Do you know how much money Joe Biden got us in debt?
How much?
Less than half that.
Yeah, they're going nuts.
Donald Trump got us more in debt than Barack Obama 8 years in office. Do you know the last president that left us with a surplus? His name was Bill Clinton. I'm just trying to. I
know that.
Okay, here's what I would ask of you, and you tell me if this is fair. Before the 2028 election, do your homework. I believe it will be Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance. While I am not an all-in Gavin guy, I would vote for Gavin Newsom in a heartbeat. Do you know why? Because the policies put forth by Gavin Newsom are not against middle-class America and those that are struggling. The policies put forth by J.D. Vance are similar policies that he will put forward that Donald Trump has already done, and it's damaging this country. So I would ask that you do your homework.
I agree.
And find out a little bit more about a candidate, not from some random article, because I think that's very dangerous. Anybody can write anything. People write things about me that are not true.
Oh, yeah. So much stuff is fake these days. You don't even know what you're reading. That's one of the big problems.
I can tell you right now, we wouldn't be headed towards a recession. Thousands and thousands of nonviolent criminals wouldn't be treated like animals and being deported. We wouldn't have to deal with these tariffs. And the country wouldn't be in the bad position that they are in. And troops wouldn't be called out to cities to attack American civilians. If Kamala Harris had won, none of this stuff would have been happening. And I'm not saying she's perfect.
I agree.
I'm not saying she's perfect. And I'm not saying that everything would be hunky-dory. But the country would be in a much better position if Kamala Harris won. Period.
I agree with you because the country's definitely not in a good position right now.
So, do you think there's a chance after this conversation that if it is Gavin Newsom versus J.D. Vance, you might think twice and maybe you might consider voting for Gavin Newsom?
I'm going to have to look into everything.
Okay, look into everything.
Going now, we need a good change. We need someone in there that's going to work for the people and work to lower the debt because.
Fair enough.
That's so out of control. What's going to happen in 10 years?
I don't disagree with you, but Donald Trump is giving $100 billion in tax breaks this year to the top 1%. Do you think that's going to help us? Okay, but Kamala, but this is the whole point of this call. Kamala wouldn't have done that. I agree with you. She campaigned on it. You think Gavin Newsom would give the biggest tax breaks to the top 1%? No, it'd be the opposite, my friend. It'd be the opposite.
Let me ask you a question. Real fast while we're on that subject. Why them top 1% of people that get them big tax breaks with all the money they have? Why don't they even accept that? Why don't they just pay their taxes?
Because they're selfish pricks. That's why. Because they only care about their own bottom line. The Jeff Bezoses of the world and others, they only care about themselves. And these are the people who support Donald Trump. I'm telling you right now, that's not the case. That's not the case. If Gavin Newsom becomes the president, he's not perfect. He's not going to give the biggest tax breaks to the top 1%. That's what Barack Obama talked about. It's what Joe Biden talked about. Everyone getting a fair share and a fair shot. That's where I agree with people on the left, and I completely disagree with Republicans. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the richest people in this country getting the big. I appreciate the call, my friend. I do. Promise me that you'll do a little bit more research than some random article. Promise me that you're going to find out the differences in policies between Gavin Newsom and our vice president. That's all I can ask, and I do appreciate the call, and I appreciate you calling in, my friend.